our friends over at Sellhound have outdone themselves. They're giving the Deathpiles and Taxes listeners an opportunity of a lifetime.
They're going to help us make some money, get rid of that death pile, get your items listed because you can't sell out of an empty wagon.
And so, all that you got, kill that death pile. When you go over to Sellhound, use promo code, capital letters, Deathpiles25 to save 25% off of their service.
And get out there and start making some money.
Here comes the money. Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
You all know where you're at because you just pushed play on the Deathpiles and Taxes podcast. This is episode 118. My name is Derek Everitt. And, of course, with me, as always, is the tax man, Adam Resellers Know Your Name Beesley.
Can I tell you that it is crazy time right now, and I dare say I am busier than a one-eyed cat watching three mice holes.
I like that. I like that.
It is tax time, people. And man, tell you what, you put a little thing on the old interweb saying, you know what, 10-9, ooh, did you hear that? That was a crisp sound of a big old purple drain.
No, this one's strawberry.
Strawberry drain. But no, you throw out, you know what a 1099K is online, and man, people are flooding in. I tell you what.
Well, you took it right from what I was going to ask you, right out the gates. Let's get into it. 1099K from PayPal. Some information came out from eBay a little earlier. Why don't you just break down, first off, what is a 1099K? Sorry, my phone might be buzzing and stuff if you hear it during the podcast. I'm trying to sell a car, and I might just leave mid-podcast and go make me a couple grand. It's okay. But I'm here to serve you, the people of the internet.
That's the way it works.
So a 1099K, what is that?
So a 1099K is a reconciliation of the total amount that you have sold through eBay, PayPal, Amazon, Macari, like whatever entity. Now everybody used to think, well, you know, they only issue it if you have more than 200 transactions or $20,000. The real tool for the IRS is it doesn't matter what those totals are. If you make more than $600, that should be reported.
So I know for me, for example, I've already got contacted from PayPal. I can print it off. I got the 1099K. I bring it into you. You do the taxes. I was listening to the official eBay podcast today, and they were not only reiterating, but they kept saying, unless you made $20,000 or, was it the 200 sales?
Yeah.
They're not issuing 1099K if you're on the managed payments. So for those of us that might have been on for a month or two and probably didn't hit those notes, that's still tax deductible. So even if they don't send us the form, what do we do in that case?
So you said deductible, but there's a big difference. You mean taxable. You said
Taxable. Sorry, I'm just a layman. I don't have no big degree in counting monies.
Well, here's the thing: is no matter what, you should be claiming your income. Okay. Now I'm going to reiterate what I just said. Okay. You should be claiming your income. The IRS finds out when you have payouts from whatever entity, whether, like I said, it's ThreadUp, Macari, Amazon, all of these different places. Now, you should be reporting all of that income, okay? But the IRS does not know about your cash transactions, okay? Your marketplace transaction. That doesn't matter, quote unquote, you should be claiming all of your income. That's the disclaimer, okay? I had the gentleman call today. Man, like I said, we are busy. Like I said, people have got questions. We are here to answer those. Like I said, hit us up. We're happy to answer some questions. Helping a gentleman right now. He's asking questions about a 1099K. We are doing it from all different angles. But you need to report that income. It doesn't matter if it's below that entity or below that dollar figure. You should be taking all of them because a lot of resellers, they, like you said, I might have been half on managed payments, half on PayPal. I might have had, other avenues. you need to be claiming everything. And that's why I always say, have one bank account for all of your resales. Like I said, do that, one credit card, that way it's very straightforward come the end of the year.
Okay, so even if they don't send you the form, you got to figure it out,
Yes,
because that's not only taxable income, but when Adam's trying to find you deductions, when whoever you're trying to work with is trying to find you cost of goods sold, figure out what you've done, that all plays into the mix.
yeah, and like I said, the difference is a lot of resellers, like I said, I mean, especially this year, man, they're coming out of the woodwork. I don't know what this is my first year filing. Great, let's establish it the right way, make sure you do everything the right way. Like it says, even if you don't get that 1099-K, it doesn't matter. Like, they might send you one and you never got it. It might have got mailed to your mom's house because, you know, you live and work out of her basement, but you might have an apartment somewhere else. Like, you need to claim that information because you don't want to get a nasty letter 2 years down the road saying, hey, you didn't match up with your 1099-K, said, even though eBay said they wouldn't send one, guess what, they still did.
Well, they're still going to tell the IRS what you're making if the IRS asks.
Exactly.
I mean, that's how it works. They're not going to pay the taxes for you. They got to be accountable for the money that comes into them too, and what that's doing.
And that's kind of the whole mantra of this is why we do this, why we talk about this is how do you make money, but write off as many things as you can so that your taxable income is low, but we don't want it to be so low that it's going to get you into trouble.
Not going to get audited, not going to go to jail, not going to, have to pay those bills. And then, 2 or 3 years, think about this. 2 or 3 years, if they come back to you and say, what did you sell in September?
Yeah.
The cost, you got to manage payments from September to December of that year, whatever. What did you sell? I mean, that's going to be kind of hard to figure out, especially 2 or 3 years down the road.
And even then, so that brings me, eBay's like, they do so many great things, but finding that information, like, I hate how you can only really go back 60 days. Like, there should be, like, very easy reports saying, what did you sell in 6 months? What did you sell in all of last year? Like, that shouldn't, I don't know, is that?
It should be. No, it should be. I mean, that's, they got the information, and hopefully with the managed payments, maybe that's something that rolls out. Who knows?
I don't know, you got the exact number. Let's get these guys on the horn. Like,
I'm already up to my neck in battles, and let's wait till one comes down. Well, speaking of bringing off the hook, Adam, I apologize for my phone, but there you are getting
somebody else got to have their taxis.
somebody needs their taxes. Okay, Adam, I got another tax-related question since we're coming out hot here.
That was Dr. Droogie Freeze's little brother.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Big Roo, shout out to Big Roo and the family.
Big Roo, that was Dr. Jake calling from Indiana.
Oh, is that where he's at now?
Yeah, he's-
Well, see, we got people all around the country.
Yeah, that's what this gentleman on the text was asking. Well, yes, we do taxes in California. We do them all over.
Okay, well, Adam, I received my tax document today from eBay. Now, this is a question. This isn't me directly, so don't make fun of me or run me down. This is from another person.
Don't run me down.
Well, if I say this, you're just going to tell me to pay my taxes and be very rude and offend somebody.
Yes.
So, I received a tax document today from eBay. Never received one before. Do I have to claim this on my taxes? Not really fair when everything I sell is stuff for my house. What do you think?
You know what? If you don't like their platform, go somewhere else. Like eBay has to take your information. They have to have your payouts. The government has requirements for them because if they don't do it, they have to pay taxes on everything. Again, if you want to do what you want to do, I am not encouraging this. I am not saying it's legal. I am not giving that kind of advice because I am an accountant. And what I say is, I don't know, gospel. Like that's.
They can hold you to it.
They can hold me to it.
Derek can say it, and he's not a tax professional. Don't take his advice. Adam says it. They can take you to court or something. I don't know how it works.
Whatever. Yeah, I've gone there too many times.
That doesn't make you sound very good.
Representation.
There you go.
I had
Representing.
a couple hearings last month. If you sell on cash, if you sell on marketplace, like this is any place like that, they don't know. Like I said, they don't have an ability. And yes, garage sales are the biggest, most questionable. Like state tax commissions don't know. I mean, nobody knows how to treat those transactions.
Well, I think what they're getting to is they're selling crap from around their house, like we recommend to do.
Yeah.
But much like this car that I'm trying to sell, it's a used car. They can't say, well, Derek bought it and already paid taxes on that, or I paid. You still have to pay taxes on things,
Yeah.
which it sucks. No one likes to do it, but just because it's junk around your house, you sell it on eBay, it's taxable income.
But if you sell it to said guy who meets you in the parking lot from wherever and gives you $3,800 in Benjamins, then the more to whatever.
Did it happen or didn't it happen? I don't know.
I don't know, but that's what I'm saying.
But once you make it an electronic, traceable document with bank accounts and money leaked.
And mark my words, I'm going to dare say, I'm going to give myself a timeline. I am going to say 2023, that is 2 years from now, you will begin to start getting 1099Ks from Venmo. Because Venmo they are teetering on the gray area. And transactions, if you read anything in Venmo, it says if this is for a business service, you cannot use Venmo. Because people want to electronically transfer money, and you cannot do that. So can I tell you what the alternative is to that?
I'm all ears.
Start trading me, what is it, Dogmo?
Oh, Dogecoin.
Dogecoin.
Adam, you got diamond hands? Are we going to the moon?
I don't know, but I got me some Dogecoin, so.
So if you use the Bitcoin or the Dogecoin, you can transfer that.
You know what?
And
for those of our listeners who are deep down in that kind of thing, I will do a tax return for Dogecoins this year.
well, I got over a few thousand Dogecoins as of the other day.
Well, so do I, but they're not really worth much now.
Not right now, but by the time I do my taxes in a couple of months, we're going to be to the moon. You're going to regret saying that you'll do it for Dogecoins.
No, I want to be that guy. I know there's, now you see all these
Yeah,
transactions because crypto coin has gone crazy.
Yep.
You-
Basically,
Hold on, we've got Trey.
He can't stay still no more. He's got an opinion and it needs to be shared.
You heard about the Bitcoin. Now take off your mask.
Adam's son Trey.
so
Hold on, wait till you get into
You
the
got
mic.
to talk to the microphone.
So basically, Dogecoin could be the next Bitcoin because Bitcoin used to be only worth like about as much as of Dogecoin. And Dogecoin as of right now is like 0.32 something cents.
Yes,
We had a big run the other day. It was almost worth a whole penny.
yes. So now it's worth not even a third of a penny. But like I said, there was a guy that paid for a pizza with Bitcoin, and now they said that Bitcoin is worth some millions of dollars. And like I said, I texted the boys. Like I said, I texted the group. I threw down $25 on the Dogecoin. If it goes up to, like I said, what crypto is, I'm buying everybody new trucks.
Oh, there you go. I'm gonna hold out for that one. I'm just hoping it goes up to a couple cents, and I'll cash out 5 times my wealth or whatever I'm into it.
So that is, and I don't know if we want to. Do we want to jump down that?
No, we might as well. Everyone's been talking about all this week and jumping around. I actually saw a billboard on I-15 coming down from work today talking about holding on to your GameStop. Oh my lord! Oh my neck! Adam's kid's trying to kill me. He's trying to take over the show. Oh Trey. Oh goodness. You can just have my position.
So
You got a son.
I just want to say one thing. I just wanted to say that it costs a few cents, so maybe spend $25 and get a lot of money out of it.
That's all he wanted to say.
Whose kid is that? That's exactly what I spent.
I came in here today, getting ready to do the podcast, and there's Adam and his son eating pupusas, and Trey says to me, "If you go and try them, you'll never look back." Basically, and I said, "There's no doubt about who your father is."
I will tell you what. For those of you who are new to the podcast, like it says, we are here to help you with your taxes. We are here to help you learn how to make money online. But you will learn so much in between. Like I said, the depth of where we go. If you have not tried a pupusa, you are missing out in life.
Now, I thought that they were going to take me over to some gentleman's establishment or something like that. Whole different ball game.
Pupusa it's like a corn tortilla mixed with goodness and cheese and pork, and it is amazing. A little salsa on top, some cabbage, jalapenos, and you were in heaven.
Adam took me to a place one time. We walked in there. It was a little savvy. I didn't know what he was ordering. He was speaking a foreign language. It was good. Don't get me wrong, but I'm guessing the health inspector hadn't been there for a little bit. It was a little scary, and that might have been why I liked it so much.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the time you had a text message from somebody that we didn't know, and we showed up to an establishment to go meet somebody.
That was a good time.
That was a good time.
No one didn't enjoy that.
We all enjoyed that time, but throwing it off, yes, talking pupusas, like I said, my son, he's 10 years old. We're very open. We try to talk about these topics, these latest and greatest. Dogecoin, gonna go down to the GameStop. Like, it's fun to learn because, like I said, the I don't know, what we call it, the buffer of things that used to be 20, 25 years ago. It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, the internet, like we always say, with reselling online and everything else, it's changed. Barrier to entry, whatever it used to be, if you were going to buy stocks, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, cryptocurrencies didn't exist. There's just a lot of ways to do things, and the internet makes that a lot easier than having to go to your stockbroker, make a call, pay some fees, pay a percentage. It was a rich man's game, and with what's going on right now, doesn't really matter what side or what you think about it. People are showing that a few people can get together, share some ideas, and things happen.
And it is good.
It's always good. You get creative minds together, and that's the thing. The establishment's always kind of one way, and then somebody comes and breaks that, and that's how Amazon, that's how Google, that's how eBay, everything gets founded, it gets going. Speaking of Amazon, big news, Jeff Bezos, he stepped down today, so we'll see what that does for them and that platform. He's kind of been he's the founder, CEO, he was the guy that ran it all.
He's the go-to.
We'll see if that hurts their stock, if that hurts the product, if that hurts everyone used to say Kmart can never go out of business, and now you can't find a blue light special to save you. So Amazon's the big dog in the yard right now. Maybe they stay that way, maybe they don't. But it's just interesting, with online selling and everything that we're into, it seems like just wait a week and everything changes, or things develop, or things get hot, things get cold. You think that you have a death pile that's going to be worth $20,000, and the next day's worth, well, maybe not the next day, but a couple of years later, if you don't list it, it's worth a few hundred, or it's worth $500,000. It's just crazy.
Yeah, that's like I said. The internet has flattened the curve. It basically makes those end transactions a lot better. And think about it, we have this podcast. We have literally downloads all over the world. And if you could have told 15-year-old Derek that, it was almost impossible. You had to have a AM radio like Art Bell to get that kind of pull. And now you just have a simple podcast. Like I said, we've got some microphones in our office, and there's people all over the world that listen to what we say.
And yeah, it's kind of scary. What's wrong with you people? But
what's wrong with what people?
Oh, people listen to us for their entertainment and advice.
Hey, they've obviously gone to the right place. They've done something right in life. They always say, magic happens when you're living right. And they must be living right to listen to this podcast.
I don't know about any of that, but I'm glad you're here and listening. And we ramble a bit, and this is kind of what we do. So if you're new to the program, this is kind of how she goes.
Yeah, like I said, tax time, we're getting there. Last week we got some good feedback, man. We went down the rabbit hole of finding exactly, if you come upon a stack of stuff, particularly cards that were kind of card heavy. We've been making some money, and man, Michael Benjamin Painter, he's got some stones, man, because that guy is turning down cash.
Sure, has some pretty big offers. We have an interview with him that we're gonna have to throw in here in the mix one of these next couple days or weeks, I guess, if it's days, who knows. But
when you turn down the amount of cash that somebody wants to give you that you could buy Derek's car with, that's a lot.
That's true. Maybe I should just trade him straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up. Hey, Painter, if you're listening, the car's still available. I'll go straight up. That Ric Flair rookie card for my 2009 Prius low mileage, great commuter. It'd be great for your kids. They're getting kind of not quite to that age, but by the time they're there, it would be a good little investment for you. It might be a classic car by that point.
That's right. So,
hey, let me talk a little bit about this. I know we've talked about it before in the past, but it's live and I'm actually trying it out. eBay standard shipping for envelopes.
oh yeah, we were going to talk about. In fact, favorite Brian of the show, he had a question about this, so I'm glad you're referring to it.
Let's bring it up. Let me kind of refer to it really fast. I'm trying it out, and then we'll answer, or you can ask Brian's question if we don't cover it. What it is it's a shipping option only on eBay right now, so you have to use eBay labels to pay for it. And if I believe it will fit in an envelope, it has to be a trading card, so it will only come up for your listings that are in the trading cards when you're making a listing. And it has to be valued under $20. So those are kind of the requirements, but at that point, you can print off a label for, I believe it's 99 cents, and it gives you trackable information. So a lot of people in the past, you're selling sports cards, they're only worth a couple bucks, it's nothing rare, nothing extravagant. So you don't really want to list a card for $2 if somebody's got to pay $3 or $4 to ship it. You don't want to offer free shipping if you're going to lose $2 or $3 on that transaction. So now what's happened is It has to fit in an envelope size. You can put your cardboard and everything around it, protect it still. But it has to be able to ship in kind of those dimensions. But for 99 cents, so you can either offer free shipping or you go ahead and tell them that they're paying 99 cents. And it gives you tracking information so that if it gets, lost, whatever happens, you can prove it. If they say they didn't get it, it protects you. You can become a top-rated seller, all that good stuff. So I think it's a good program. I got a stack of cards I'm just going to start putting up for auction. A lot of times you just get those packs of your basic or generic things. You can get graded. You never know what to do with them. I usually give them to Phil over at the card shop to give to the kids. I'll still do some of that, but
It's for the kids.
some of the other cards I'm going to, start. A lot of the wrestling cards, a lot of the different cards, a lot of the older 80s cards. Because I might not be getting my Jim McMahon San Diego Chargers card graded, per se.
I've got one that's in there right now.
But, it's probably more centered than mine.
Yeah.
But I am going to put it up there for 99 cents and see what happens. It probably won't go for over $20. If it does, I can't offer that service. But if not, it ships out, and it's a good way to kind of clear house on a lot of your lower valued cards. So I think it's a great service. I'm kind of excited to use it.
Now, I have got an inside scoop for you and friend of the program, Brian.
The inside scoop.
There was a hot call today. I got on one of the Facebook groups about sports cards, and everybody got the 1099K questions going kind of out rampant. You never, try to sell, but when people have so many questions, it's hard to answer something in a post. I just kind of threw my information on there, got some really, good feedback. Friend of the program, Jeremy called from Alabama, and Jeremy was fit to be tied with all the monies he was going to have to pay because of the amount of cards he sold.
Oh, no.
But he needed some money for his taxes that he was going to have to pay, so he said he has an unlisted, a large quantity. Of course, they all say they're good. He had some older baseball cards.
Always in good condition.
Like 80s, but I'm like, I'm not really interested in baseball. There's just a large quantity. I'm like, well, what else you got, man? And so I got me those Pokemons. I'm like, not really into it. Come on, man, keep digging. What
Speaking
else
of that,
do you got?
this guy across the desk from you has sold $180 worth of Pokemons today.
You were all over the
Something
place.
like that. So I did dabble my foot and it's been well.
Well, maybe I need to get Jeremy, because Jeremy has, and man, I tell you what, Brian is ahead of the game on those Marvel cards. They just had the big show in Dallas. So apparently Jeremy's got quite the stack of Marvel cards, and I just sent in a large quantity for friend of the program, Brian, of Marvel cards. So he's got that, but guess what else he's got?
Is he going to pay for that and Dogecoin to get his taxes done by you?
That's a good question.
Does he got some wrestling cards?
He's got some Hogan's. He told me he's got Hogan's.
What year Hogan's?
I don't know. I said, send me the information and I will look at it. Because he's like, you interested in what you're buying? I says, man, you show me what you got and I'm always buying.
Yeah, you get the pictures and he can send it over for $1 now, so you can get up to 3 ounces. I need to look at it's 3 or 6, so don't quote me on that.
Here's the best part, is because it's not a official eBay transaction, because it's not like, I'll just,
You just
Venmo my money.
it's just Venmo him over. It's just friends beating on the marketplace.
That's right.
No, that's the thing, and I'm not going to blow Painter's new niche, but he's out looking, man. He's looking for different things, different avenues. Speaking of old 80s baseball cards, Adam, last week you made a proclamation. You said that you were going to list some of those binders of cards for sale, and that we were going to follow up this week with you, and I'm calling you to the spot. What happened
I'll
with
tell
that?
you what I did, is I did get my Tom Brady jacket. I got that listed.
I saw that.
I got that listed up on the old interweb, so that is listed. Hoping to get that sold this week.
I think Sunday night that's going, and I'll tell you why right after you're done talking.
Okay, so I got those going. I grabbed the binders. I got them ready, but I'm gonna show you kind of what I did, so you can kind of see. So you can. I feel better about myself. Is that all right?
Yeah, you do that. I'm going to explain to the people why I think Adam's Super Bowl jacket's going to go. He has a Super Bowl jacket from last time Tom Brady met Andy Reid in the Super Bowl. And instead of just picking one of the guys, in his description, he put the Super Bowl jacket, then he put the year, all that information. He put Tom Brady, I think he put Tom Brady 1 or Tom Brady Patriot, something like that.
Number 3 Super Bowl.
And you also put Andy Reid's first Super Bowl.
Yes.
So no matter what happens on Sunday, the Sunday coming up, Super Bowl Sunday, I guess we have to say that kind of stuff because people could be listening 6 months from now, 2 days from now, 5 years from now. If you're listening 2 days from now, you're me editing, but people will be listening. So, Trey laughed on that one after I yelled at him earlier for taking my head off. So that's good. We have fun. Anyways, I think that because of that, it doesn't matter who wins. They're going to go to the internet trying to buy that memorabilia. At that time, the fan of either team's pretty excited, and I think that jacket is going to go that night.
I am particularly...
Or coat.
Yes, I'm particularly trying to... you play both sides. If you haven't seen any of the Adam Up Accounting videos, go check them out. We like to do Wednesday Wisdom. I've tried to place my videos quite well. So I have BYU and Utah on both sides. I said I like to play both sides of the fence because my favorite color is not red, my favorite color is not blue, my favorite color is cold hard cash green. That is my favorite color. So we'll play both sides of the fence. So whether it's Tom Brady, whether it's Andy Reid, let's get those cards sold. But I want to show you what I did. I had to get even more organized. The office is a lot cleaner. Man, I tell you what, you buy these cards and you just kind of get down this deep dark hole. I went through everything. I got everything kind of set aside. I got some other thing listed. I got my binders so kind of figure out how much I will list them for, but this is my next PSA order list. I have everything kind of organized.
Okay, yeah.
I know exactly what I'm doing. I've got some cards for a few other people that are, I guess, subbing. I'm subbing for now.
Adam's becoming that middleman that says, I'll get this for you in 8 months.
How do I do that?
People start calling you, start wanting to know where their stuff's at,
Yeah,
and say, pay her and probably get your own account. I can't do this no more.
that's right.
I got to sleep at night.
So that's what I did. Is I did not get those listed. I got the jacket because I knew I got all this organized. So now I have a expectation plan. Going to do 20 to 30 cards at a time because I was trying to set up an order, but there's 3 separate areas. We'll get into this. So second half of the show, we kind of deep dive.
We'll go back into our series.
Yeah, we deep dive into the cards for dummies. You know, that's
Part 2.
Part deux.
Before we get to the break, I know we're coming up on it
How do you
close.
spell deux?
You'll see in the notes on the
Okay.
show. Don't worry. You scroll down right now if you're listening. Scroll down and you'll see how to spell it.
Okay.
And one more quick eBay thing is a while ago they had required. Now I need to look at my notes. You got me giggling. You got me needs requirement or listings requirements.
Yes.
I can't say that to make it make sense, but
You ain't got everything listed the way it's supposed to be listed.
things ain't done the way they're supposed to be. So what you need to do is go onto your eBay.com and it will show you on your dashboard 46 items there's requirements to these listings. Details are required. So when that first came up, it was like, maybe November, December, people were like, well, I'm just going to get through Christmas. I don't have to really worry about this. Now it's coming up in February. These are going to be required if these required, I can't make this make sense.
Requirements are not, taken care of.
Yes, so we've always talked about how you go in your listings, you revise them, you add item specifics. There's different item specifics that are required to still be showing up on eBay. So you need to go in and revise these. They have ones that are recommended. You don't have to worry about those. That's nice if you got time. But a lot of people have like several hundred items that needed different requirements in there. It's usually like, men's large, women's large, or like shoe size, or things like that. Go through your stuff and get that done, because if you don't get that done, it's going to stop showing up on eBay searches, and it's just going to sit there in your death pile. Also, there's conspiracy talk, which, where we're at on that eBay won't show as much of your items if you're not compliant. I don't know if you want to believe that or not, but they definitely won't show the things that need required things in the item descriptions that aren't done.
Okay, perfect. So those are there.
That clear as mud, I know.
Well, I got a real eBay question for you.
A real one.
Last week I sold those Kobe Bryants. Guy said he was going to pay. He's never paid. Now he just sent me. So this is a week later. I kept messaging him. Are you going to pay? You going to pay? Now he sent me a message that says, no, sorry, I don't think it's worth the price.
Well, that sucks.
So now what do I do? Do I have him cancel the order, or do I cancel the order?
What I would do, and I have this set up for automatically, if you don't, it's worth looking into. I think it comes with your store subscription anyway. You can open up an automatic unpaid item assistant.
Okay.
So if somebody buys something from you and it doesn't get paid, you can determine in 2 or 3 days. You can go longer if you want. that eBay will send them a nice little email saying, hey, you got to pay for this item. They don't do it, it will automatically open an unpaid item case. And so what happens with that is once the case closes, which would have done in this favor, they'll give you back your listing fee and relist your item for you.
So how do I do that? Because I don't have that.
I'll show you during the break.
Okay.
You're gonna go to on the actual.
Okay.
We'll go to the page. You go to the item.
Perfect.
Click on a drop-down menu, and we'll say open unpaid item case. The reason that I'd say this instead of just cancel, get the guy off the hook or whatever is one, you're gonna get your fees back. You are gonna relist it anyways. But a lot of us have perimeters on eBay, and if somebody no pays you, 2 or 3 times in a row, they're gonna have discipline from eBay. There's sellers that won't sell to them. So if you just let them off the hook, they're just gonna keep going and doing this to different people. Hey, I feel like I want to buy this today. I want to buy it tomorrow. Last week it was hot because it was Kobe's anniversary of him passing,
Exactly.
and he probably bought it out of emotion.
Yes.
Now he's having buyer's regret. He should at least have to send it back to you and do a little action in my part.
Exactly.
So I'll show you during the break, but for those people at home, turn on the unpaid item assistant. If you have a store, just Google how to do it. It's easy, but it's not something that we can do over the podcast, but it will save you time. And you open it up for 2 or 3 days. If they don't pay, I usually send them an invoice reminder, and if they don't pay on that, eBay will send them some sort of an email that says, hey, you owe Adam some money. If they don't do that, you close it, and you just don't deal with them again.
Perfect. Well, I'm not going to respond. So thanks for listening to the first half. We're going to take a good little break here, and we're going to come back hot and heavy with part 2 of the
You liking that?
the reseller make quick money fast. Well, it's taxes of Deathpiles and taxes. It is that time of year. We're going to have to do something. Uncle Sam wants his money.
Who doesn't want their money?
Well, he's got a lot of it, but we all got to put it in the system. That's the country we live in. So, need to file your taxes. Got questions? You want to know more because you're a reseller? It is a little more difficult than it is, especially if it's your first year. You're getting into it. You're going to get these 1099Ks. You can get information that you don't know what to do with, and we don't want you to pay any more than you have to. So, reach out to us here at Adam Up Accounting. You can go to our website. You can check us out on social media. We'd love to help you out. Like I said, we know the resale game. We're here to make sure that you pay your fair share, but don't go back to jail.
Hey guys, it's Derek Everitt and Adam Beesley from the Deathpiles and Taxes podcast that you're listening to right now.
Your favorite accountant. I know. It's the greatest thing in the whole world.
A lot of you have been asking what you can do to help the podcast out, and seriously, all we want is a review.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a 5-star review, but if not, be fair, at least a 4.
We know you're listening. Like I said, we see the numbers. We're all over the world. Like I said, it's just we see it. We appreciate everyone listening. Help us get a little higher up there. Help us get more new
Helps with
listeners.
the algorithms. People can help find us out, and it really does help. So if you can go to Apple iTunes, that's where a lot of you are already listening, or wherever you're listening.
Spotify, Apple, all of these different things. They're all out.
Wherever you listen, give us you don't even have to write a review, just give us 5 stars. If you want to give us a review, that's cool too. We appreciate it, and keep listening.
Thanks for listening, guys. That was a good little break there, D-Rod.
It was a good break, and you know what that means. It's time for part 2, is that what you're saying? I'll say part 2.
Like Hot Shots, the movie Hot Shots Part 2.
Yeah, I remember.
Your buddy old
Charlie Sheen.
winning,
I got the Donna's blood.
not Martin, but Charlie winning.
You know, he was Emilio Estevez's brother.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
And Mr. Mighty Duck. Which,
So,
if you have any Mighty Duck cards, we're going to teach you how to send them in to get great at.
wow. Okay. Yeah. I wonder if they made Mighty Duck. See, now my mind's already going.
Yes,
Yeah. So this is Cards for Dummies Part 2.
that's the one.
Let's run down the official question, and we'll do our best to dance all around and hopefully answer it.
If this is the first time you've tuned in, thank you. Go back. Last week's episode was part 1 of Cards for Dummies. Basically, you've got a large sum of cards, large sum of purses, whatever the items are. What do? How do you go from there? Today, we are taking it to the next step, digging a little deeper, and going to talk about how do you get your cards graded and why you get them graded, D-Roy.
So, disclaimer, usually everything that we talk about can be related to something else. This is kind of more exclusive to cards, however, I do think it can be related to other things.
It's about how to get your items appraised, appraised value.
Appraisal value and
Certified.
what to do. You get them certified, you get them authenticated, all that. So Just read the exact question from our buddy, from the answer, the king. You got it there?
Yes, you want to know, how do you submit cards to be graded?
Okay, now we've done like full episodes about this, so we'll try to condense it a little bit, make it nice and easy. If you want more details, go back and listen to the archives. I don't know which show number, but I'm sure it has a clever title that will explain it to you.
Yes. So I guess first, before we do that, like, why would you get a card graded, and what does that even mean, Derek?
All right, so when we talk about sports cards, we have different categories, and within the groups, there's categories upon categories, but we'll try to make it easy. So a card that you just got out of the pack is called a raw card. Just your basic card you got out of the pack. It's called raw because it's just that. It's a raw card. There's companies out there, and there's several. Me and Adam prefer PSA for our own personal reasons.
They also pay us lots of money.
I wish they did.
They should be.
We own stock in PSA, full disclaimer.
True statement.
But there's Beckett, who I've also sent some stuff out to be graded and appraised and authenticated. And there's a SGC,
Yeah.
and now there's another one kind of coming up, and there's some older ones. But for the main topic of this conversation, the big two are PSA and Beckett. And with that, it's whatever you prefer the best. I can go into all the detail, maybe I will someday, about why we go with PSA, but that's really neither here nor there.
It makes more money. That's in general.
In general, for what we're doing, it makes more money. So you have a raw card. You're hoping that is a rare, or you want that to have some value to it. And so you get this card and you think, man, this card might have some value to it. Anytime that you see in magazines growing up, they had Beckett magazines, and they always had the value of a card. The value is based off a point system from 1 to 10, actually from authentic to 10. So the value would go anywhere from 10 cents to $10 million, depending on the condition of the card. How you get that point system is from one of these companies will tell you this is a PSA 10, 8.5, 6, this is a Beckett. This is where Beckett's kind of interesting. So Beckett is a little more stringent, some may say. So a Beckett 9.5 is more of equivalent to a PSA 10.
Yeah.
A Beckett 10 is very hard to come by, so it makes that card actually more value. And then they have what is called a black label, which is a perfect card. I think there's just some gimmicks to make things cost more. Personally, I don't know what a difference between a PSA 10, a Beckett 10, or a Beckett Black Label would be. I'm sure there's card guys out there yelling and telling me I don't know what I'm talking about.
You don't.
But personally, if you can get a Black Label Beckett, you can ask $1 bajillion.
Yeah,
or whatever. So you get a new. Let's just say for kicks and giggles, Adam pulled a Bo Jackson 1988 card out of a pack that he bought from our buddy Phil.
Ooh.
And he says, Bo Jackson, I remember that guy. I like that guy. Man, this card might have some value. So he's went through steps from step 1 that we talked about last week, and he's decided he wants to get this graded. 1, to preserve the card, and 2, because that will make it more valuable for resale, or if he keeps it in his personal collection down the road, it will be worth more money in theory, as long as Bo Jackson doesn't come out of retirement and embarrass himself, or have some sort of a scandal that may or may not increase the value. So what you want to do is the penny sleever that we talked about last week. You go and you get some penny sleevers. They have top loaders, which are a harder plastic. There's a whole process to how you submit to one of these companies. You can also buy memberships. I would recommend, if you're just doing it at first, you're just trying this out, probably get with a guy like Adam that will send in the cards for you that already has a membership.
Adam doesn't do that unless you're on the super friend. But if you're listening to the podcast, you're probably a good friend. So.
Or, your local card shop might do that. Guys on the internet will do that. Or you can just send it in yourself. However, if you're just sending in one or a few cards, it's going to cost you a lot more.
Yeah.
If
you
you
have a minimum.
Obviously, if you buy memberships, you'll get discounts, but then there's also minimums. They're usually about 25 cards.
All right. Well, let's just slow down there. Ease the brakes a little bit.
Okay.
You're getting very deep into it. The whole reason you're going to submit the card is, like you said, because 99 times it's going to be worth more money. That's why you're going to do it. And cards range from so many different values. It's unbelievable. But the one thing that we look at and how and why we determined to get a card graded is the population report. That's something that we talk about, and it's called the POP report. The nice thing about PSA, I've never looked up on Beckett. I don't know, maybe you can tell me.
Yes, I did this weekend.
So you can go into a POP report, so you can pull up a certain card and you can look it up, and it'll tell you there have been 1,700 of this card graded, 35 10s and all of these different numbers, and it tells you the basically population and how many of those cards exist.
Graded what?
The value,
Number, yes.
the number of them, and obviously, like all things, the higher it is, the greater the value. But it's funny because, even 6 months ago, 8 months ago, people were telling Derek, oh, there's nothing, if it's not a 9 or 10, it's worth nothing, and Derek says, you're wrong all day long, and he's selling PSA 7s for $50, $80, $100 because it's a rare card, and that's why it's worth money.
I mean, if you're looking at, I always want to throw out big stars, but he was a mediocre guy that was, it's good if you have a 10, but probably not going to make it.
Vince Carter.
So Vince Carter, good NBA player, not in the Hall of Fame yet, played for a lot of years. If you have a Vince Carter rookie 10, going to be worth some money.
Yes.
If you got a Vince Carter rookie 6 to 7, probably not worth a lot of money because there's a great population of those out there, like Adam's saying. But if you're selling some random guys like I'm into, like let's go with this Rock card that we've talked about from his rookie set.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
So it's a different field. Not a lot of wrestling cards out there to begin with. A Rock 10 card obviously is going to sell for a lot of money. However, if you check the population report and there's, let's say 50 of these cards have been graded.
Good chance David Peck has 49 of them.
Some guys got 49 of them. You got 2 or 3. Even if that comes back at a 6 or 7, you might not be getting thousands of dollars, but like Adam said, you can still get hundreds because it's a rare card. There's not a whole lot out there that exists. And if you go through the process of getting that graded, obviously it's not a great thing to say, okay, I'm going to get a bunch of 5s and 6s. I'm just sending everything I have in to get graded. However, certain things, Mickey Mantles, Babe Ruth.
Yeah, it all depends on
that's the thing. Everything that we say here can be argued both ways, and there's always exceptions to the rule. But for the most part, if the card looks in pretty good shape, even if it comes back at a 7 or an 8, there's probably still a market for it.
And that's, again, as you do it, you learn more. I bought a magnifying glass that has a ruler inside of it, has a light on it. It's actually really cool. If I'm thinking about submitting cards and I might have questions about them, I pull it out and I look at the card very careful because the grading is really weird. Like, you might think it's worth something. You might, oh, for sure that's an 8. Man, that's a 9. I'm going to have there's only 3 Andre the Giant's 10, and I for sure got one, and it comes back a 5, and you're shocked. Well, you dig a little deeper, you find out why. You kind of know why.
And that's the thing. We all look at our own things and probably think diamond eyes, and when you're looking at comps and things, this is why I go with the POP report, because if you look up and say, okay, a PSA 10 sold for $800, and you're sitting here saying, well, this is worth $800. Well, it's raw, it's ungraded. You have to look and see what a PSA 5 or 6 sold for. And if that's $50 or $60, it's probably still worth sending it in and getting it graded. However, if it's $10 or $11, then obviously it's a waste of your time and money. What I was talking about with the ruler and the magnifying glass, and some people are really nerdy on this, and some people just say, I trust my eye, and I'll take my chances because I don't want to go through everything. It's going to take a lot of time. But what PSA is going to look on and evaluate is the corners of your card, the surface. So the surface of your card, I mean, even to the naked eye, may look good, but once you get out the magnifying glass, there might be a fingerprint on there. There might be a little scuff that you didn't see. There could be some sort of thing, printing geek, that left a weird dot.
And then there's so many, like Matt, the PSA guy, like he's got a lot of really good YouTube videos. I have started, and I didn't in the beginning, but he shows a very specific way of how to clean your cards. If it's somebody's, getting those things off are there, but you want to be extremely careful in the way that you do it.
Because, it's a printed thing on cardboard. It's very delicate, very fragile. You don't want to be trying to clean it and actually do more damage, scuff it up more. So there are ways to do that. My biggest thing is once it comes out of the pack, I just hurry and throw it in one of those penny sleeves. That way I know that, but if you're buying it from somebody else, you don't know their process or what happened there.
Yeah.
Also with the PSA is centering. So a card, you can look at a card, it's just like a picture. If it's off framed, if it's not centered, unless it's really obscure or way off centered, then it becomes one of those air cards that we've talked about. But for the most part, you want that to be almost dead center and framed to look like a picture fully captured.
And we're talking within like millimeters. That's what they're measuring in. If it's, 8 millimeters and the other side's 6, like that's what they go off. I mean, that's the nice part about this magnifying glass I have, is it really narrows it down. So that's a big thing, is centering and again, making sure. And like I said, if you're going to go to the next process, which we strongly encourage, like I said, it's what's made us money.
Yeah, if you're looking to sell cards, this is the way to do it. I don't know how people, as I said, I'm going to try to list a bunch of my common raw cards, but that's more to clear house and probably boost up some feedback numbers. I don't know how people that just sell raw cards, it can be done, but if you take a few extra steps, it can make you a lot more money and a lot more profit. I guess thinking here, this is kind of like if you have a handbag, like we were talking about with your boy Adam the other day, or you got your Air Jordans, you get them authenticated. So you can go down to a thrift store and you buy you a Louis Vuitton bag. It might be real, it might be in good shape, it might not. If you get that verified or authenticated, the value is up. Yep. So same with cards. Fake cards and things out there, this just makes it, through this process, it makes it authenticated, real, and this is actual condition.
It's a real card, and especially, man, with these Michael Jordans, like these lower dollars lower grades are selling, so you just want to make sure it's real. So the process, like I said, I have a PSA account, I go in, I log in, and it's once you know how to do it, it goes pretty quick. But you have to go in like
it's kind of labor intensive. It will take you some time to do it. So also for people that don't know, maybe look up a graded card. They call them slab. There's a few nicknames out there, but what they do is they encapsulate the card in plastic, and at the top of the card they'll have a little label that will say this information. So it will say it's a 1988 Bo Jackson card number whatever. And then we'll say, your grade, so we'll say PSA 9, Gem Mint, or Good, or whatever. So maybe go and look at that before you go through the process, just to be familiar. One of the other reasons I went with PSA instead of Beckett is originally back in the day when I was trying to do this, I was looking at both. It's a lot easier to submit on PSA, at least for me, than it was on Beckett.
Yeah, simplicity.
So it's basically like a spreadsheet that you're setting up. So you're going to go and, open up a new, what do they call a new order?
Yeah, new order.
Is that what they call it?
And it's, as I was sorting everything, they have different kinds of orders. But as far as cards go, which what we're really talking about, is there's 3 separate categories. It's based off of the years of the cards. It's like pre-72, 72 to 2017, and then 18 and on, and that's kind of how you have to submit them in those groups. You also have different type of cards, like if it's a tall boy, and that means if it's taller than a regular thing. If it's an autograph, if it's an oversized, there's different categories, but that's the 3 basic ones.
And they show you on there. If you look and it'll say tall boy, it'll tell you the dimensions. If you're looking for an autograph authenticity, I'm gonna have Jimmy sending me things. I'm having a rough day today to get it authenticated. There we go. So you want to get it authenticated. There we go. That's a fancy way of saying it, but it doesn't sound right at all. I'm struggling, Jimmy, but you want to get it done, and so the autograph, you can either have it graded or just say that this is a real autograph.
Yeah.
Or you can have the card graded, autograph graded. You can have about any combination of what you want to do.
Yep, and like I said, normally it's a minimum order, and because you have a membership, which I don't think you can get them right now because we got in.
They are currently sold out.
Before, but the membership, it was $250 for the year. It gave you 15 free grades, and it allows you to grade cards.
And a fancy backpack.
Yeah, and magazines. We've got magazines here. But it allows you to submit cards, and
they do quarterly specials, so it might hit your jackpot of what you're into and drop the price.
Where now, like, so we pay anywhere from $10 to $15. If you don't have it, then you have to pay $25 to $50. So it's a very good thing to have.
And so you're going to get your cards together. You're going to go start your order. That's another thing, is you're going to want to make sure they're all in the same category. So they have like modern, postmodern.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, with the breakdowns there. So Just make sure that you have all your ducks in a row. They actually have a category if you're into those Marvel cards or the superhero cards or the Pokemon cards that aren't the sports. Sometimes those are cheaper as well.
Non-sports, and so what I like to do is I like to stack my cards based off of, the same kind of thing. Because I've got really good, and I do a lot of computer work, and I'll do a copy and a paste. I'll copy it and change one thing. So just for instance, on mine, I have a whole bunch of 2016 Prism data draft picks. So I'm able to pull in that information because you have to type in 2016 Panini Prism collegiate draft picks, and it's like Jameis Winston, Alex Smith, Drew Brees, Derek Carr, and all of these different ones. But all I have to do is go in there, then delete it, and I get really fast at the process.
Also, as you start to put in it, kind of autofills where it thinks you're going. As long as the card's been submitted, it's in there. Sometimes with my wrestling and things, I'm the only one that's ever submitted it, so it doesn't post up. As long as you got all the information correct, don't worry about that, because you'll just be a population of one. Also, if you have multiples of the same card at this point, you can put that you have 4, so you don't have to do it 4 individual times. Yep. It's going to ask you an evaluation of how much that card is valued at. This isn't for insurance purposes. You can go up to usually $100 per card, depending on how you're submitting, what you're paying.
Yep. And for me, like, I just throw in like carte blanche, like $50 to $75, because if you put in a higher great value, it costs you more.
So you gotta be comfortable if this gets lost, if it falls out in that boat that Mike Painter's always talking about, where he lost his guns in that accident or however that went down.
Yeah.
If it gets lost, what really is that going to cost you to recoup your cost into things?
Yep.
It's not graded value, it's not back value, and you're going to be paying shipping insurance on this. So keep that in mind.
And it's not a whole lot. I mean, it's $30, $40, but it just depends on the value. Like I've got 57 cards in on this particular thing, and it says my declared value is $2,800. I will be dang ticked if that's all I sell it for. I think it's going to be closer to $4,000 to $5,000, maybe more. It just depends. I've got some special cards in there.
But if the box got lost, that is the check ad would get back to replace it.
Which I didn't pay anywhere near that, so that's still a good thing.
It also will ask you if there's a minimum grading, so you can say...
And I messed that up.
You can say, unless this comes back as a 7 or higher, I don't want it to be graded. Or you can just say no qualifiers, which means if it comes back a 1, it's a 1. If it comes back a 10, a 10, no restrictions. That's usually what I do. Adam's gambled in the past.
I messed it up. When I, again, first learning, and I even had them crack the slabs, I figured out how to do it on my own. In fact, we posted a video on YouTube. They did it's called a crossover. It was an old company. They sent it into them. It was $50 a card. And I said like a minimum of a 9 because they were 10 at the other company. So I figured for sure. So I paid the $50. They sent them back. They didn't grade them, and I got no further than that. So I ended up selling them raw. I still sold them raw for like $400 2 weekends ago.
They did well anyways, but that's some of the information they're going to ask. Then you also have to save it.
Yeah.
That's just, common sense, but it's just kind of a walkthrough.
And they're making it easier. PSA is now they print off like this really, really easy, straightforward form. You sign it. You say how many pieces go in there, you print off the label, you take it into your post office, and send it out, and we do wait for months. It's like, you never know when it's going to come back.
Also, if you do multiple orders, you're going to put, there was 5, whatever,
Yep.
a total of this many collectibles. So, but it gives you all that information. It does take a little bit of time, but you're doing this to make money. So, as long as you're comfortable, or if it's your personal stuff too. There's people that just want things collect, like, let's say Hank Aaron, who just passed away the other day, right? I know our buddy down there at the card shop, Phil's a big Hank Aaron guy. Maybe he sends out some cards just to protect them, preserve them, gets back, has no intention of selling them. Some people just like to collect them and have them authenticated and graded because they're not going to get bent, they're not going to get, coffee spilled on them or whatever, get damaged, the corners aren't going to get bent. So that a lot of people say, well, why would you get things graded if you're not intending to sell it? Those are all reasons why.
And I'm going to give you one more tip as we're wrapping up the dummies for cards or cards for dummies part Deux. One thing I like to do is you keep your cards in a very specific order. How you put them in, that's the order you want. I lay them all out and I take a colored picture and print that off so that I have it with my paperwork. Because I'm looking at all these cards and, you forget because it was months ago. Man, I have got like 7 Jalen Hurts. I've got my Justin Herbert prisms. I got 3 of those in. But I make that colored copy so that I can reference it and look and remember exactly what that card was.
Yeah, back a few years ago when I started grading and getting into cards, 2 or 3 years ago, I'd send these out bulk orders and I'd be getting them back, 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at maybe 13 months. So a lot happens in that time.
And that's just due to the backlog. You can pay more money to have them sooner, but even then,
It's kind of into your cost too. So unless you have something that's worth hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of dollars that you need back because you want to sell quickly, I'd recommend it's the slow boat, but we're all there. You're in line with, but when it comes back like Adam's Herbert's, right? He had a great season. It was kind of a gambling gun preseason, but now they've actually went up in value while they've been sitting there. And it's not like a lot of people have rushed and got them in head of line of you. And if they have, they paid a lot more. So they're going to be selling them for a lot more. So actually that value is getting inflated as you're sitting waiting on it. Conversely, you can say, well, if you had a bad season or whatever, they go down. Sure. But that was the risk you were taking when you sent them in to begin with.
And like I said, and these are getting into cards. And one thing that Derek and I have kind of deviated on is it's not just sports cards. Like I said, we've gotten into, we just talked about Marvel cards, Pokemon cards. I'm going to kind of show these. I bought these the other night. The
Beatles.
Some Beatles, like 1969 Swedish type cards. So that was really cool.
Those cards are stickers.
These are cards.
Can I make a declaration here?
Of course you can. It's your podcast.
I always say things, and Ab says I prognosticate the future. I don't speak well, but I'm always a little ahead of the curve.
Always.
Now let me say this: the Beatles, whether you like them or not, are the best band of all time.
Yes.
Now let me just say that.
Okay.
Now this being said, Paul McCartney's getting a little older. Ringo Starr's getting a little older. Once they pass away, now we were young for Lennon, and cards and things and collectibles weren't quite what they were, and Harrison was a little after that. When Paul McCartney passes away, and he will at some point, Beatles things are already priced pretty high, but they are going to go to the moon with your diamond hands. Ringo Starr as well, but Paul McCartney and John Lennon were the founders of the Beatles. They wrote all the songs. He's the star. So if you're looking for things to start collecting or start getting authenticated, look at Paul McCartney type items, Beatle type items, whether it's cards, tickets, autographs, things of those nature, T-shirts, tour shirts. You'll thank me later, and you'll want to buy me a big gulp and a steak.
That's right. Like I said, it's not just cards. People are buying collectibles. And it's the same. Look up. I did the same thing with Hall of Fame. Go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Who's getting in? Think of those stars. Who is getting close to passing? Because that's when value goes up. Because they're the evergreens. They're always going to be great.
I sent off to Beckett, which I was saying a little earlier. My 2 Kiss autographed posters from their Vegas residency. They're on their last tour for like the 5th time or something like that. So, but at some point, Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley are going to pass away, and I'll have framed, Beckett, not graded, but authenticated, slabbed posters of them signed, and I'm going to ask some money for them, and I'm going to get it, or I'll sell it beforehand. There's a lot of classic rock bands, there's a lot of classic country people. Last week, I got a lot of compliments on the Willie Nelson song.
Yeah.
I love Willie. Willie's my man. Willie's not getting any younger.
It's your wife's man, too.
He blew my wife a kiss once, and I can't compete with that.
He was jealous.
I wasn't even jealous. I'm like, good for you. I'm jealous that he didn't blow me a kiss. There we go. Yeah. But, that's the thing. Like, these people are getting older now. Probably Willie will outlive most of us. And you got, here's the guy with the Rolling Stones, Keith Richards.
Yes.
Willie Nelson had a quote once that said these kids need to think about what they're doing with the environment and the world. They're going to leave me and Keith Richards. So he's planning on outliving most of us. But either way, the Highwaymen, Chris Christopherson just announced he's retiring. Johnny Cash, Merle's gone. We could go down this road forever.
Derek's gotten it. Can I say you got into Nirvana, or is it?
Yeah, you can get into. Nirvana's anniversary's coming up, but now if you think about it, the Foo Fighters, who are kind of a spin-off of Nirvana, Dave Grohl, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they're probably very underrated as far as that kind of stuff goes, autographs and tickets.
Whoa.
they're like the modern day Rolling Stones almost. They've been a band for 20 years
Easy now.
or better. I mean,
Yeah.
think about these kind of things, especially when we're talking about the resale game. And since you've listened this long, I'm giving out some secrets.
I'm going to throw out one other thing too, and
I didn't get Waddy on to tell you a Foo Fighters story at some point.
well, Ken Jennings one too. I've always liked business cards. I think that's a totally underrated market. And I said this before Gary did. Gary said this last week. I said it before him. You can go back and check it. Okay?
You go back to episode 89 and 5 minutes in there. I told you that Gary's been stealing crap
I
from us.
know that he has. I know
why he follows me on Twitter.
He talks about business cards about, he's like, yeah, I'd buy original Jeff Bezos business
Well,
card.
think about that. You get Steve Jobs business card or original Apple, or you get Bill Gates. Some people love him, some people hate him. Business card, or you think, okay, let's go collegiate. Let's go Bobby Bowden, or some of these old football coaches that were out recruiting. Gave the kid the business card. Yeah, I think you had a Kyle Whittingham one.
I've got a Kyle. I don't have it. In fact, now I'm going to go on and purchase it. But you can get that slab. You can get that.
You get those graded, and that's one of those things where these Hall of Fame coaches, if you had an Urban Meyer from like when he was first at Utah or back at any of his, Bowling Green, but any of Florida when he's won national championships.
You're getting it. I guess it's fine because
Think about it.
these are our guys.
These are our guys, but that's the thing. Adam would buy that, right? He's going to go off to the NFL, whether he does well or not. Adam's got some stock in him because he has a connection, because he took those Utes and had a good season.
And that's the same thing. Like, so whatever you are regional, like go down and get that, Dabo Sweeney, University of Alabama while he was an assistant.
I think if you had a Bear Bryant card.
It'd be unreal. Go get
Vince Lombardi.
Go get the Nick Saban when he was in LSU, because there's really this window that business, like, that was everything. That's how people got a hold of you. That's how they remembered you years ago. So,
or even like Sharon Osbourne, people that represent bands.
oh,
I mean, there's Steven Spielberg, like we're talking business guys.
yeah.
There's just a lot of opportunities and a lot of things to look into.
There's so many
You can
avenues.
go out there and find you a Michael Scott Paper Company card from the prop room. I don't know.
There's so many places that you can make money, and that's the funnest part about this is that I talk about it all. Like, what are you doing from 8 o'clock till midnight? Like,
So you just heard me and Adam talk. We went off track and we got each other excited about
did.
business cards.
I'm pumped. In fact, I even wanted to make an app about business cards. Like, that's how you virtually trade in. But I love the tangible. The tangible is what's.
Yeah, there's something about having the touch and the feel. Some of them have some texture to it.
Which, speaking of, I've got some silver in my actual Starbucks mug over here. Some real silver. So I like where the silver's going, and I like to hold my silver tangible.
Well, there you go. And each their own. Silver's not bad right now. I was talking about it on the text. If we'd have known back in the day when you could get all the silver you wanted out of a slot machine, you just went cashed out and held on to it.
That's right. Hold on to it. So that's a deep dive. I know we kind of deviate, but hopefully those at least give you some nuggets. There is no shortages of ways that you can make money on the internet. It just takes some time and whatever interests you.
And that's the thing with grading. You're going to wait. They'll send it back in the box. They'll have all the information there. The good thing about PSA is until they ship it, they don't charge you. So even though it's going to be hundreds or thousands of dollars, depending on what you're sending off to them, you actually don't get charged until you're going to have the product back in a couple days. And that motivates you to get listing it fast to make back some of that initial upfront cost.
And they do send you an email that you can see what
The cheater.
But I think it's funner to kind of wait and you open it. It's like Christmas morning. So
Yeah, they'll send you an email that says, these are all the cards coming back, here are the grades, and it has line by line, and you can go back and scroll through and say, okay.
Yeah.
Or you can just go blind and open them. Fun thing to do, and if you're social media savvy, if you're trying to get you some viewers on Instagram, YouTube, all that kind of stuff, I mean, go look for it right now. It's fun to do, is you watch people open their cards blindly, and some people are ecstatic because it's like a lottery ticket. They hit that 10, Michael Jordan, whatever, or some people just look like they got punched in the gut because it's a 5, and they can't figure it out. And
So it's fun stuff. Like I said, go out there, do it, make a habit of. It's really fun. Spend those couple hours each night, just perusing the internet. You're doing it anyways, so you might as well learn how to make some money doing it.
make some money at it. Cards sell. They're doing well on eBay especially, but also like I'm saying, the the marketplace, Macari.
There's other deep dive groups, like specifically like genres for vintage cards, vintage soccer cards, certain era of baseball cards, and everybody in there is selling and also looking. So that's
Well,
a good
and
place.
here's the thing. So some people just collect teams, right? So I've sold a lot of just weird cards that I call weird because I don't know who the players are. And I'm like, why did I get that graded? But there's a guy that just collects Pittsburgh Pirate cards. That's his thing, or whatever your team is.
Yeah, and it's weird because there was another guy that had the 86 whatever basketball year, 86 Fleer, and he had like 32 of this one totally random guy. I'm like, who is that, your cousin or something? And he's like, no, I have it so that it can be that one card that completes a guy's
The
set.
set, yep. So, yeah, I gotta think like the collectors are like the people that are out there, and that's kind of hard to do because some people just want the hits, and some people want everything.
Yeah, so there you go. There's some good deep diving. I hope that got you closer. Go execute it. Derek, what's your promise? What are you going to do this week so we can be accountable next week?
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna get a listing. It's gonna be a busy week. I have a possibility of, we got the Super Bowl coming up. I had a friend of mine that passed away, so on Saturday I may be heading down to services. So I got a busy week coming up with work and stuff, but I'm always listing. I'm always doing things. I want to clear up that death pile, man. So at least 2 or 3 hours a day is what I want to be listing, and I'm accountable because you guys see when things pop up that say, hey, your buddy just listed all this stuff. So
Yeah.
we got a couple days. I got to get this edited and up, so I don't want to put out a huge guarantee because I know you're going to call me on it. But that's what I'm going to do.
You got Friday, Sunday, Friday, Monday. You were smart. You thunk ahead.
Oh, I took off Friday and Monday, and our friend Mr. Painter wants me to go up to some card show on Friday. Maybe I'll do that. If he goes up, we'll see how that goes. I'll obviously add things to the death pile, if nothing else.
Go see that. Well, sorry to hear about your friend passing. I had the same thing. Had a family member passed here. Life is short, people.
That's the thing. My buddy's 39 years old, wife, 4 kids, health condition. It's just crazy, and we don't know. Tomorrow is not guaranteed for anybody. Some people kind of know when they're slipping that way, but most of us, it's just kind of. I mean, not maybe most of us, but sometimes it's out of the blue too.
Yeah, and that is the thing is, and we talked about it on the show. I mean, we're all going to pass at some point. We don't need to take it lightly. Enjoy life, like I said. Go out and do something. Enjoy it with your loved ones because you just never know.
Maximize life's minutes. Get those reps in, Pelican.
That's right, because there are 2 things in life that are for certain, D-roll,
And that would be death piles.
and taxes.
One, two, three, four. Well, my time went so quickly, I went lickety-splickly out to my old try to